What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to TTP Sports, and man, it's been a little bit since I've done a Phillies vid, probably at least a week and a half to this point, but I think it's for good reason, because we all know this team, we all know how frustrating they are, but after tonight, I feel like I just had to. Whatever the hell we witnessed, it was so dreadful. Then it did get exciting to the end, but it's just that excitement, it's hard for me to feel that. They win this ball game against the Chicago Cubs. They win the series against the team that they should beat. They win today 17-8 after trailing 7-0 in the third inning. Bryce Harper continues to make the case that he probably should be the National League MVP alongside with Fernando Tatis Jr. Man, he's been unreal. The man's not human. The man is simply fantastic. 3-run bomb later in the ballgame to completely blow the game wide open. 2 doubles in this game. Sadly, he didn't get on base every single at-bat, but still, he got it on base majority of his at-bats, walked 2 times as well. And he also has a 12-game hitting streak, if I do say so myself. The man's just unreal. He is. And finally, for one of those games where the Phillies offense wakes up and just a loud spurge, what it feels like, it's just like, I'm not saying score 17 runs consistently, but why do you have so many issues just scoring runs against bad teams, against the Cubs, against the Rockies, who were notoriously a terrible team on the road, and you lost that series? That's one of the main reasons why I stopped doing videos. It's just because it got so old. I was done. I was so done, and I still feel like I'm done right now. But I'm still watching every game. Mainly to watch Bryce Harper to see what he can do to better his chance to win the MVP. But I'm not going to do it again. I'm just not going to say like, oh, is this the win that's going to spark this team? Is this the win that's finally going to spark this team to play the right way, to make that push for the wild card spot or the division? I'm not going to say that. We've been saying it for too long. We've been saying this damn shit since 2018. Oh, is this the stretch that the Phillies needed to spark something? Is this the game? Is that the game? I can mark so many series over the past couple of years where we said that so many times. You had those stretches in 2019 when you swept the Mets, and then when you swept the Cubs later in that year. And then it's so many years this year, so many games this year where we thought it was going to be something. The 8-game win streak, we thought that was going to be something for a long-term stretch. It didn't turn out to be that way. I just don't want to get fooled again. That's why I'm just like, I'm still just going to be in the ballpark where just take it game by game. See what happens. But more than not, it's most likely going to end up in frustration and disappointment. Like, I hate to be the Debbie Downer. I do. I hate to be the Debbie Downer. But that's just what this team does. It's who they are. They are a mediocre ball club. They've been hovering around 500 this entire season. Hovering around it. And that's where they're going to finish. Either a few games above 500, a few games below 500, or right at the 500 point in 81-81. That's where they're going to end up. And I don't see it happening any other way. I just don't. And I'm not going to falsely put myself in that situation where I'm going to give myself false hope that this team is going to spark something. Because I have no idea. Bryce Harper has been doing this the entire season. Sadly, the rest of the team has not followed through. The pitching staff, it's to the point where why are we using bullpen games? What is the point? When you're down in an important stretch in September, you're vouching to use bullpen games. I know we DFA'd Vince Velasquez. Honestly, it's so bad to this point where I would rather have Vince Velasquez on the goddamn mound than a bullpen game. At least he can give you 3, 4, 5 innings without having to waste the bullpen when you're going into an important series against the Mets this weekend. Might I add you, majority of 2 of those games are on national television. The entire audience of baseball is going to be watching those 2 games because they're the national games. Fox on Saturday night, ESPN on Sunday night. Man, Can't wait for those. I can't. I just can't. In the pitching in general, Zach Wheeler had a past couple of good starts. Aaron Nola's just a disaster so far. Ranger Suarez, he's been really good. He's been good this entire season, coming back from COVID, going into the bullpen, then getting transitioned into a closer role, then transitioned into the starter. He's been very solid for this team. Zach Eflin, sadly, he's never going to pitch probably the rest of the season. And then, bullpen. Apparently bullpen is your fifth starter. And we're only at this point because guys like Chase Anderson, guys like Matt Moore, guys like Spencer Howard, guys like Vince Velasquez, they continue to fail. This organization can't develop pitching. We have no pitching depth. In our bullpen, oh my God, I don't want to get into the bullpen. Even though we've experienced it majority of today, there's few reliable arms out there in the bullpen. And Hector Neris is probably your most reliable guy. We weren't saying that halfway through the season, but he's been a lot better since then. He's probably your most reliable person. J.D. Hammer hasn't been the same since being called up. He's been struggling a lot lately. Matt Moore's a bullpen guy now. Bailey Falter, it's iffy. I don't want to even get into Ian Kennedy. He's just not good. He's not a closer. He's just not. Man throws 94 right down the middle of the plate, hoping people miss the ball. Like, seriously, I do hate to be the Debbie Downer, but I just can't. I don't want to make myself fall for it again. I don't. But this series, people are going to watch this series against the New York Mets because, one, it's a division rival. It's a divisional matchup because it's going to make a lot of paveway for maybe who leapfrogs into second place or who takes control of that second place spot and jumps closer to the Braves. Because the Braves, they're going to have a tough competition this weekend. They're going to be playing the San Francisco Giants in San Francisco. Might I add you, the Giants have the best record in baseball. It's going to be a tough matchup for them. This is going to be a really important series for both the Phillies and the Mets. Someone's going to have to win that series. Someone's going to have to win those games. It's going to be one of the two teams. So, I don't know what's going to happen. Like I said, I'm going to take it day by day. Day by day. So, I guess to finally get into this game real quickly, the third inning is where it blew open for the Cubs. Matt Moore walked a couple of guys, allowed a couple of base runners. J.D. Hammer didn't really do much to help himself. Hit Ian Happ with a pitch with the bases loaded. Scored a run. Wilson Contreras got an RBI hit, made it 2-0. Patrick Wisdom got an 2 RBI double. He made it 4-0. And then Matt Duffy, just put the needle in the haystack and made it 7-0 on a 3-run shot. So at that point, we all thought this game was over because the way the Phillies offense has been this past couple of series against these bad teams, we didn't think anything was going to happen. But then we go to the bottom of the fourth inning for the Phillies. That's when they decided to wake up. Bryce Harper barely misses a home run to the opposite field, hits the fence, comes back into play. For some reason, the umpire called it a home run, but it was a double. It hit the front fence, bounced back into the playing field, so that is a double, not a home run. Then JT Realmuto, he gets hit by a pitch. Didi Gregorius, he gets a force out. Somehow it doesn't turn into a double play. So you get JT and Bryce on second and third. The Cubs, when they're a bad team, they're not going to have the best defense in the world. Andrew McCutchen, he gets an RBI double to right field, scores 2 runs, makes it a 7-2 ball game. Brad Miller, he gets a single, moves Kutch over to third base. Then Freddie Galvis gets hit by a pitch, so that loads the bases up for Matt Joyce. He works a walk, 3-2 count, works the walk, makes it a 7-3 ball game. Odubel Herrera lines a single in the left field, makes it 7-4. Gene Segura, he gets the force out, where it was a weird play. Matt Joyce tried to go to third base. I don't know what the hell was happening in that standpoint. It was just a bad defensive play. Whatever happened, it scored a run for the Phillies. It made it 7-5. Bryce Harper, then he works a walk. Then you get JT Realmuto singling up the middle, tying the ball game up at 7 apiece. And that is your fourth inning. So the third inning for the Cubs, they scored 7 runs. And the fourth inning for the Phillies, they scored 7 runs. So yeah, runs aplenty for these teams. Then we go to the sixth inning for the Phillies. Matt Vierling, he came into the ball game as a double switch, took out Brad Miller. He gets a single there. Odubel Herrera, he reached on a fielding error. And then another force-out play right here. Gene Segura grounds into it. A little bobble on third base. And then it looked like Matt Vierling was going to be safe, but he was then ruled out. No idea what happened there. It was just a weird play. But then Bryce Harper, he gets a double down the left field line, makes it an 8-7 ball game. Didi Gregorius, he gets a single down the left field line. He makes it a 10-7 ball game. And the offense has officially woken up. But we go to the top of the 7th inning for the Cubs. Wilson Contreras off Hector Neris crushes one to center field, makes it a 10-8 ball game. The Phillies, they start to do more damage in the bottom of the 7th inning. Runners get on. Freddie Galvis gets a walk. Matt Bierling gets another single. Odubel Herrera gets an RBI double, making it 12-8. Gene Segura reaches on a single. The Cubs, they elect to go to the bullpen, bring the lefty out. And it really didn't help in this situation. He throws one pitch to Bryce Harper, and he crushes it into the second deck in right field, making it a 15-8 ball game, blowing this game wide open. Bryce Harper's 33rd home run on the season. And that, that's how your game ended. The Phillies scored a couple of more runs on a Gene Segura RBI single, made it 17-8, and that's how your ball game ended. So if you look at the box score, a lot of stuff to go through. Look at the pitchers. Bedrosian, he started for the Phillies today. He was the opener. He went an inning in the third, allowed 1 walk and 2 strikeouts. His second inning, he struggled a little bit. Matt Moore had to come in relief. He pitched that inning, allowed 1 hit, 2 earned runs, 2 walks, 0 strikeouts. He got out of the second inning clean. But then when you got into that third inning, J.D. Hammer and that entire mess happened, so 2 of those runs were charged to Matt Moore. J.D. Hammer, he was only able to record 1 out in that inning of work, allowed 4 hits, 5 earned runs, 1 walk, 1 strikeout, and a home run allowed. Rosso comes in, he pitches an inning in the third, allows 2 hits, 1 walk, no strikeouts. Bailey Falter comes in, he pitches an inning, does his job. Easy, clean inning, probably the first clean inning of the night. Hector Neris comes in. He pitches 2 innings, allows 1 hit, 1 earned run, which was the Wilson Contreras home run, and 4 strikeouts. Medina comes in after that for the 8th and the 9th inning, allows 2 hits, and walks 1 batter. For the lineup, Odubel Herrera in the leadoff spot goes 2 for 5 with 3 RBIs. Gene Segura goes 3 for 6 with 3 RBIs. Bryce Harper, he goes 3 for 4, 3 runs scored, 4 RBIs, 2 walks, and a strikeout. JT Realmuto, he goes 1 for 4 with 2 RBIs. Didi Gregorius, he goes 1 for 5 with 2 RBIs. Andrew McCutchen goes 2 for 5 with 2 RBIs. Brad Miller, he goes 1 for 3. And then your various other hitters, you got Freddie Galvis goes 1 for 2 with 2 runs scored. Your various pinch hitters in this ballgame as well. Matt Joyce got an RBI on the walk that he had. Also, Vierling, he got a couple of singles in his couple of plate appearances as well. For runners in scoring position, the Phillies had a lot. They were 10 for 22, and they left 7 total runners on base. So, you win this series against the Cubs, and looking at the standings, the Phillies are 3 games behind the Atlanta Braves, their game against the Rockies were postponed today because of, I think it was, poor field conditions. So they did not play today at all. 3 games behind them. They're they're a game and a half above the New York Mets. The Phillies are 74 and 72. And if we're looking at the rest of the schedule for especially this 3-game series against the New York Mets, you have tomorrow a 7:10 start. You're going to have Zach Wheeler going up against Taijuan Walker, and the Phillies have struggled a lot against Taijuan Walker this season in their matchups against the Mets. So who the hell knows what's going to happen? Then you're going to have Saturday, which is a nationally televised game. It's going to be on Fox. It'll be Aaron Nola, oh, pray to God, against Carlos Carrasco. That's going to be a nationally televised game. And then Sunday, another nationally televised game on ESPN. 7:08, it's going to be Kyle Gibson going up against Rich Hill. So a very important series for the Phillies right there. And then after that series against the Mets, you're going to have 2 more series at Citizens Bank Park against teams that you should destroy, against teams that you should beat. But I can't say that because the Phillies play down to their competition and can't beat bad teams. Because after the Mets series, they'll have a 3-game set against the Baltimore Orioles, and then they'll have a 4-game set against the Pittsburgh Pirates. And then after that series, those are their final 2 series at home against the Orioles and the Pirates. They'll have an off day on the 27th. They'll have a 3-game set on the road against the Atlanta Braves, and then they'll have their final series of the season, a 3-game set on the road against the Miami Marlins. Oh boy. So, that's going to do it there. Phillies win this game. And I don't know what's going to happen. I just don't. I don't like being a Debbie Downer. I just don't know what's going to happen. And maybe before, I'll maybe talk a couple of minutes about Bryce Harper, just because the man deserves it. The man deserves this conversation that he's been getting into. Just what he's been doing this year. And I want to pull up Bryce Harper's stats. So if I go to Bryce Harper, bring up his entire stats for the season, the man has just been on fire. Hopefully MLB.com can show his complete stats on the season. If it loads in enough time, it'll be very, very nice. So if we go to Bryce Harper, so on the season currently, batting .314, so he got his average up to .314 today. That's just wild. He has 33 home runs now in the season, 77 RBIs, 13 stolen bases, an OPS of 1.055. And he also has 30-plus doubles. I think he has one triple. I think he has one triple on the season. I'm trying to look at the rest of his stats if they show it here on MLB.com. He has 85 walks on the year. He has 10 intentional walks. He hasn't struck out that much. He's only struck out 114 times. That's really down this year. That's probably one of his better seasons, not striking out so much. Yeah, his average is really good. His on-base percentage is .428. His slugging percentage is .627. And I'm not. They don't show his wins above replacement here, so I'm trying to see if I can find that his WAR. I don't think they show that on MLB.com at all. Well, just basically to show to go you. Bryce Harper is having an MVP-like season. His numbers are getting very close to where his numbers were where he won the MVP in 2015. I think I have it on my computer right here, actually. I think someone I know posted it on somewhere. And I'm trying to say, yeah. If you see Bryce Harper's stats from his MVP season in 2015 with the Nationals, he was slashing a .330 average, .460 on-base percentage, but a .649 slugging percentage. Right now, he's batting .314 with the slugging percentage and the on-base percentage that he has this year, .428 and a .621. He's getting very close to those numbers. And I know this entire race, it's going to be between him and Fernando Tatis Jr., I know that a lot of votes are going to go to Tatis just because of how good he was in the first half of the season, but Bryce Harper has been getting majority of the attention in the second half. That's why I feel like this race is going to be so close. I don't like the factor that some people are just automatically giving these guys the awards. Like, there's a group of people that are giving Tatis the award unanimously. There's people that just say Bryce Harper deserves the award no matter what. Both of these guys deserve the award. I know, like, these votes are definitely going to be swayed on what team has success, what team makes the postseason. And both of these teams, the Padres and the Phillies, there's a possible chance that both of these guys don't make the playoffs. There's a major possibility in that. Because if you look at the wild card right now, the Padres, they're a half game behind in the second wild card spot. The St. Louis Cardinals currently hold that place. And the Phillies, they're 2.5 games behind that second wild card spot. So there is a good chance that both of these teams don't make the playoffs. A really good chance. But really, you have to rely on the Cardinals and the Reds to continue to play the way they're playing and somehow knock the Padres out of that playoff spot that they're chasing for. But the Padres, they're starting to get a little bit of hot again. So you just don't know. But that's the one thing I don't like either when they're judging these awards is how they based on team success, where an MVP is an individual award. It's just going to be a battle between these two players. Both of these guys deserve the award. Yes, my bias falls besides Harper because I'm a Phillies fan, but like Tatis, he has many arguments why he should win the award. Bryce Harper, he has so many arguments why he should win the award. It's going to be a fun race till the very end. That's what I'm going to leave it at right there. Both of those guys deserve the award, and I feel like that's where we should leave it off there. So I want to hear your thoughts down in the comment section below on this game, on the Bryce Harper-Tatis conversation. Do you think Harper should be the MVP? Do you think Tatis deserves it more? I want to hear those thoughts down in the comment section below, so don't forget to leave those down there. Do not forget to drop a like on this video. Don't forget to check out the Painted Lines, which I'm a part of. Their links are down in the description below. Do not forget to check out the links to Broads Media, the Fired Up Pod merch website, and also Flyers Nitty Gritty. All that good stuff is down in the description below. And the most important thing you can do is hit that subscribe button. I will greatly appreciate that, and I will see you next time.